Alright guys, hello there, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft video. I don't have enough gems to do a Premier Core Set 2021 draft, but either way, I don't really feel like I'm missing out on much. Core Set 2021 is not a very fun draft set in my opinion. I think it's just super hyper aggressive, and all the neat combos and synergies that you imagine pulling off in the more slower, grindier formats just aren't particularly amazing in 2021. Like you can't really pull off Black-Blue Reanimator and win a lot of games with it, as well as the Blue-Green Draw Your Cards Matter archetype. So it's definitely a hyper-aggressive format that rewards you for playing the Jeskai colors, red and white especially. So I think I'm going to do some Ikoria Lair Behemoths and go through a rundown of it, since I find that set a little bit more appealing, even though there is that dreaded Zenith Flare in this set. Outside of it, it's definitely very deep and complex and intricate compared to our Core Set 2021 currently. So yeah, let's dive on to some Ikoria Lair Behemoths, and maybe we can draft a sweet aggro deck in M2021 to show off after this video. So we'll see. Let's begin. Bot draft, Ikoria, let's begin, pack one, pick one. Opened up a pretty good rare, Fronland Feldar, although you don't really want to draft the ally colors in this set, so I don't know about this, but it's definitely a first pickable card, definitely a very powerful card, definitely very splashable as well, and even in a normal green deck splashing white, this can be a nice powerful creature, so to speak, and definitely if you have a couple of like Moscow Goriacs, Keensight Mentors, or whatchamacallits, the Farfinders, this can be pretty powerful. Looking at the uncommons, there's a Lord Dracus for the blue-red spells deck as a nice late game card that can get back your most powerful spell. So this is also a consideration. Looking at the commons, Dreamtail Heron is a nice mutate enabler, also a decent flyer on the flyer. There's Humble Naturalist as a nice 2-drop that can help us ramp in the green decks, and then there's Strand of Stinger for the cycling decks. So overall, the commons are okay, but I think I would still take either Lord Dracus or Fronland Felidar over them. And Lord Dracus would be the more conservative choice, since it's not in an allied color, and its blue-red spells is definitely a thing in this set, but I think the Frontland Felidar might have a little bit more upside, even though it's in an allied color. You can still end up splashing this, and it can be quite strong. And if we do end up drafting white-green, it's not the end of the world. There's still some decent like mutate creatures like Vulpikeet going on. There's like Helica Gliders, of course. There's Pacifism. So I don't mind exploring diving into white-green, and maybe we can draft like a nice Vigilance deck or end up splashing the Frontland Feldar. We'll see. After our first pick, we have a Keensight Mentor. That's definitely a powerful follow-up. There's also some nice red cards here. Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, best in blue-red spells, but feasible in the red-white cycling. Savai Thundermane as probably the best card in this pack if we kind of want to force the cycling path. And then there's the Rumbling Rock Slide as excellent removal spell in red. Also, there's an Essence Symbiote as a nice mutate creature and a nice payoff for mutate. But follow up with the Frontland Feldar, like Keensight Mentor is just like the perfect follow up, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like allied colors, but I still think we take it here since it's a nice follow up for Frontland Feldar and it's really powerful in a deck with this card. Otherwise, I mean, I think I'd be looking at like a Savai Thundermane and maybe going to the cycling deck. But there's also some nice red spells here. So if we took Lord Dracus, I think we'd be looking at this Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, which is quite powerful. But given that we took the Frontland Feldar, we'll definitely be drafting like an allied color deck here, which is not unreasonable. So we'll take a Keensight Mentor and make sure we pick up a decent number of non-human creatures. And well, Alert Heatbonder is a nice one. Okay, I guess we're just going to go all in green-whites. There's also Farfinder if we end up in another color combination and we want to splash for the Frontland Feldar. But I think seeing a Heatbonder shows that the Vigilance deck is open. And I've never drafted that before, but it should be pretty fun. But yeah, other than that, Blitz of the Thunder Raptor is the best card in this pack, followed up by like Farfinder, which I wouldn't mind playing in this deck as well, but come on now. This is insane. Any Vigilance creatures? Not really. So this is what I mean in a set like this, where they reward you for the enemy colors. Now, since there's really not much in this pack for us, I guess I don't mind like a Perimeter Sergeant since we are running a couple of humans, but then again, the Keensight Mentor want us to play non-humans. The Draft Sync Healer is just going to be a filler 2-drop at the very least. I don't think it's going to do much work. That being said, we have 2 3-drops already, so I don't know if we need a Perimeter Sergeant. Bristling Boar could actually be okay, like as a non-creature we can put Vigilance onto, even though it does trade down more likely than not, but it might just be the pick here. Otherwise, like the best card in this pack are like Boon of the Wishgiver, Space Godzilla, Prickly Marmosets, Pyroceratops for the blue-red spells deck. Don't think we can splash for anything here. So I guess I'll just pick a speculative Bristling Boar. I'd rather have non-humans in a deck like this. Even though this does fill a role at 2, it doesn't seem that exciting. So yeah, maybe we just draft green-white Vigilance with a bit of Mutate in it. We'll see where we end up. And is this the deck for Huntmaster Liger? Like, we could go wide sometimes. It's definitely not unreasonable. It's a non-human creature. Like, in a deck like this, I think we see ourselves playing like Essence Symbiotes on turn 2. So more likely than not, we're happy to kind of mutate, so to speak. There's also Day Squad Marshal, but we do have a bunch of 4s. I mean, I guess Huntmaster Liger is a 4 anyways. But I think we kind of have to pick the non-human creatures here. Either way, like a 4-mana 3/4 isn't a bad body. So we'll speculate on the Huntmaster Liger. Here, Solid Footing can be a pretty decent combat trick in this deck if there's a lot of Vigilance, which we're planning to have a lot of them. But they tend to wheel. It's not like a super amazing card that I need to pick up here. I could just take a Checkpoint Officer as an OK 2-drop. And in the late game, we can tap stuff down with it and enable some decent attacks. Otherwise, there's also Honey Mammoth as a decent curve topper, and putting Vigilance on it is no joke. Yeah, I guess I don't mind the Checkpoint Officer here. And this can be pretty nice, but Solid Footing would also be a decent combat trick. But we'll take a Checkpoint Officer. Maybe we could... Oh, don't mind the main Serval. Okay, nice 2-drop. This is the type of 2-drop we're looking for this type of deck. Just go all in with the Vigilance plan. It's also a non-human, so it's I guess this has a Vigilance counter, so never mind. Don't mind a Flycatcher Giraffid, which can also gain Vigilance at 5. Nothing much here. There's a Wilt that can be main deckable since you can also cycle it. But the Giraffid can maybe be something we can play on 5. How good is Helica Glider? It's not bad. It's a decent flyer we could use. Giving this like Flying Vigilance or First Strike Vigilance can be pretty nice with the Keensight Mentor. It's also a decent non-human creature we can mutate onto. I think it's a lot better than Wilt and Lead the Stampede. Although this does seem like a fine deck for Lead the Stampede since we tend to be heavy creature focused. But I still think we take the Helica Glider here just to have something at 3, which is another nice non-human creature. So we have a bit of a game where we want to kind of go wide due to the Huntmaster Liger. Bristling Boar is kind of cuttable. The most cuttable card, to be honest. Again, we want to draft some non-humans for the Keensight Mentor. We want to definitely draft some Vigilance, of course. And some creatures that we can mutate onto for Huntmaster Ligers or mutate enablers. So yeah, I think the Helica Glider is a nice creature to mutate onto. We'll take it here. Don't think I'm running Perimeter Sergeant. We're not really a humans deck. So I guess I can take a Cocoon in case we run out of cheap mutate creatures, but hopefully not end up playing it. Snare Spinner can be a fine way to deal with flyers. Maybe ambush a creature for 1 mana. So yeah, overall, pretty interesting draft so far. We definitely got some nice payoffs. Alert Heat Bonner, Keensight Mentor, and Frontland Feldar for the Vigilance deck, which doesn't come together a lot too often. Like, usually when you first pick a Frontland Feldar, you want to be like blue-green or green-black splashing white. But this was the direction that we ended up in, so we'll see where we end up next. Swallowhole is pretty powerful. Nice 1 mana removal spell, especially in a deck that's full of Vigilance creatures. We can get an attack in, and then afterwards we can use Swallowhole, tap our Vigilance creature down, give it an extra toughness, and exile a creature, which is quite nice. Wouldn't mind a Migratory Greathorn, which would also be kind of excellent in this deck too, allowing us to splash for 2nd color. It's a nice mutate creature for some mutate synergies, but Swallowhole just has to be the pick here, I'm assuming. So we'll take it here, nice removal spell. And here, do I mind me a Humble Naturalist? I mean, we are running a bunch of creatures, so it's not bad. There's the best card in this pack is like Blood Curdle. I don't really want to play a second 5-catcher Giraffid if I can help it, since it's going to be quite expensive. Coordinated Charge could also be pretty decent, but Huntmaster Liger can maybe cover the whole Gold Y synergy theme. But I think it's just a Humble Naturalist here, honestly. I mean, it's not a good follow-up with the Keensight Mentor, but it can help us ramp into like some larger top-end creatures in green. So I'll take a Humble Naturalist here. And another Alert Heatbinder, well, also, but there's a Keensight Mentor, which I think is just better. There's also Ram Through, which I don't mind, but our creatures don't tend to be very large, so it's not going to matter fighting off large creatures. I prefer like Pacifism in this type of deck that we're playing, or Swallowholes, but a second Keensight Mentor is definitely amazing. So we can definitely start going off with it. And it's pretty cheap to put counters onto. I guess I don't mind taking a Moscow Goriak. It can actually be an upgrade over the Helica Glider in this deck. But we are still lacking playables here. Otherwise, like a Fertilid, maybe Spontaneous Flight can be okay. But we'll take Moscow Goriak. We'll take as many Vigilance creatures as we can. Do I mind myself an Imposing Vantasaur at the top end? Or you can also cycle it, which is okay. There's also Ivy Elemental, which is quite a versatile card. You can play this on turn 2, or you can play this late in the game as a giant creature. There's also Brushwag, which I wouldn't mind in a deck with a lot of mutate as a nice mutate creature, and also in the late game it can be a powerful threat by pumping itself as a mana sink multiple times. Currently, we don't have too much mutate to go with the almighty Brushwag. Might just be the Ivy Elemental here. Like, I can see it actually being better than the Imposing Vantasaur now with 2 Keensight Mentors. But the Vantasaur just has synergy with our deck, I think. Especially the Frontline, so it might have just some higher upsides, because we do have to remember we need to put a Vigilance counter onto this first, while sometimes if we have enough Vigilance creatures, this Frontline Feldar can steal the game. So I think we'll take the Imposing Vantasaur here. I don't think we're reanimating a Godzilla. We could just take a charge in case we're lacking removal. Not a great removal spell. I prefer Ram Through, but there's really nothing else I want in this pack. Could take a Savai Sabertooth as a decent 2-drop. Not an amazing creature to put Vigilance counters onto, but it's still serviceable. Like, we can still kind of grow it out of harm's way eventually. And yeah, our 2-drops, we could use an extra 2-drop here. Otherwise, a Wilt is not particularly exciting, so I think we take the Sabertooth here. Could see myself maybe playing a Day Squad Marshal as a filler 4-drop. It's not bad, it's fine. Could play a beefy 4-drop here with the Day Squad Marshal, and also can help us go wide a bit. So that's also not bad. The Huntmaster Liger. Also don't mind a Patagia Tiger as a decent 5-drop, since we do have a couple of humans like the Keensight Mentor and the Day Squad Marshal, as well as Humble Naturalist and Checkpoint Officer and Heatbonder. So I think it's going to be actively good in our deck. So we'll take it here, and also don't mind a Coordinated Charge. We do have, like, I guess, the Day Squad Marshal, which can generate a token, and the Huntmaster Liger, which kind of helps us want to go wide. Otherwise, I don't really think I need any of these two. I could cut the Coordinate Charge or not. We'll see. Maybe Spontaneous Flight makes it, who knows. This could also be a pretty funny card to use, but it's not a high pick, so we'll take this. Guess we could end up playing Fertilid, although we don't have too much mutate. This is a card you don't mind playing in the mutate deck, and we're not really looking to splash. But I'll still put on the sideboard just in case we need it.
And don't mind me an Almighty Brushwag. I always don't mind playing a copy of these, even in a deck without too much mutates. And it's just a nice late game mana sink at the very least. So we'll see what we open next pack. Another charge seems okay. I think the Exuberant Wolf Bear is really powerful given the amount of humans that we have. Otherwise, I don't know, another Moscow Goriak. I think it's just a clear Exuberant Wolf Bear here. And Dramatic Magistrate isn't gonna matter in this set where Companions got nerfed. So, yep, easy Exuberant Wolf Bear. Ooh, don't mind me a Majestic Orcorn, although there is a main, there's Serval. But I think the Majestic Orcorn is a nice curve topper we could use. It just has a lot more upside than the main Serval. Like, we could main deck like 1,000,000 copies of these and like, I guess, pump them all, but I could use another good 4-drop here. Another good mutate creature. Otherwise, the main Serval... I guess a Ramthur would be the choice if it wasn't for this Majestic Oricorn. Which we could still take here since we are lacking removal. I mean, at 4 I could still cut them Huntmaster Liger. It doesn't seem that amazing since we're not looking to go super wide. I could also cut the Day Squad Marshal. So I don't mind like a 4-drop like the Majestic Oricorn maybe on the Helica Glider. On like maybe the Almighty Brushwag. Or just like a 5-mana 4/4 Vigilance can be okay. I think we'll take it here. Not sure. Guess I don't mind another Pataga Tiger as a decent curve topper. There's also Sanctuary Lockdown. But I don't really want to tap my humans just to tap something down. It does buff our humans, but we also have a mixture of non-human creatures. And we're not going to go all in with humans, so I think the second Pataga Tiger is actively good in this deck. Don't like a Stormwind Caprador. I know it's a flyer, you can maybe mutate onto it, but overall it's just a 3-mana 1/3, which is pretty bad. I think the Blade Banish is something we might main deck here, just to have a little bit of removal. And it's actually main deckable too. There was also the Trumping Gnar, which I could have considered with double green it could mutate, but that's more of like a Simic thing. Don't mind me a Solid Footing here as a decent combat trick with all these Vigilance creatures. It can actually go off and become really strong, especially with the main Servals. Moscow Goriax, Alert Heat Bonder. Yeah, it seems actively good in our deck. Otherwise, there's another Majestic Oricorn, but I think our 4s are stacked. So don't mind me a Solid Footing. Guess I can take another main Serval. I think it beats the Goriak here. Ooh, another Huntmaster Liger. Do we need another one? I mean, again, we're not really go wide theme, since only other creatures get pumped. So if we're looking to build our deck now, I guess we can cut like the Sudden Spinnerets. We do have 2 flyers, a Flycatcher Giraffid that can maybe hold some flyers off the ground. Coordinated Charge and Go, since we already have Huntmaster Liger, I guess. I think I like these, even though they're not amazing. Charge doesn't look great though, I could cut that, but we are lacking removal at the very least. It could be okay, but kind of clunky. Checkpoint Officer is probably cuttable, since we could just play defense on the ground. We're not really looking to spend 2 mana to tap. Exuberant Wolf Bear could be fine. With all these humans, is pretty good. Helica Glider can probably go. I mean, it's a decent creature to mutate onto. But then again, like, I guess Majestic Oricorn isn't all that amazing in our deck since we don't have a lot of early stuff. I guess it can maybe enhance like a Vigilance creature, but it's going to be enhanced anyways. So it's mostly going to be a 5-drop in this type of deck. So in that case, I can cut the Flycatcher Giraffid if I'm playing this for 5 mana. So I don't know, I guess it's between Moscow Goriak and the Huntmaster Liger. And I actually think it's a Moscow Goriak, since we're not really looking to go super wide. Just as another decent Vigilance creature, and I actually don't mind a perhaps the lead a Stampede in this deck. We seem to be a heavy creature deck, so this could be a pretty powerful card draw spell. It can kind of grab us our Frontline Feldars, our Keensight Mentors, at the very least. I think it beats another Helica Glider or Plummet.
Could take another Moss Coat, but if that's the case, I guess Savai Sabretooth doesn't look great in this deck either. I guess I take another Moss Coat. Maybe I don't need to play the third one. I don't know. Because I prefer maybe the Heliglider at 3 at least. Could just take another Humble Naturalist. Maybe we can get away with 16 lands in this deck. There's also another Main Serval. Yeah, we're not really looking to ramp. We'll take another Main Serval. We'll just go in all in with this Vigilance theme, and hopefully we don't die. And if that's the case, I guess we can cut the Imposing Vantasaur. Like, it's fine on 6, but with all these early, like, Vigilance creatures, we don't really care about getting to turn 6. So I guess that's 40 cards. Let's take a look at this. Let's move our interaction to the other side. And I guess this is kind of our curve. I guess on the Blade Banish. Okay, so I don't mind the Majestic Auricorn. It's better than Giraffe, I think, and Imposing Vantasaur as our curve topper. Spataga Tiger, I think we need them just to kind of have some way to fly over. Otherwise, we're going to be in big trouble. Huntmaster Liger, I'm not particularly impressed with in this deck. Same with Day Squad Marshal. Like, it's probably only going to mutate once and give +1/+1, so it seems kind of bad, so I can see myself cutting it. If that's just the case, what do we want? Don't mind the 3s. I could consider cutting the Heliglider in this deck. Maybe we can cut a land and go to 16 now with the Humble Naturalist, or maybe we can just dump the Humble Naturalist, perhaps. So, this is pretty interesting. Like, we could go 16 lands since our curve doesn't look very high with only like a single 5-drop, so that seems fine. Now, the Bristling Boar could also be pretty decent if we can kind of grow it out of harm's way. We're not looking to go wide, so maybe Day Squad Marshal can go. We do have a bit of a human theme, of course, with the Pataga Tiger, but I think the Pataga Tiger, I mean, as well the Exuberant Wolf Bear, but I think with like double Keensight Mentor and the Alert Heat Bonder, we should be fine, perhaps, in terms of humans. That being said, maybe I can still play the Humble Naturalist for the extra humans. And I don't need something like Day Squad Marshal being clunky at 4. I think double Moscow Goriak is fine for now. Yeah, I could see myself playing the Bristling Boar at 4. It could be okay. Or I can see myself playing Sudden Spinnerets as a weird combat trick. Since we don't really have too many ways to deal with flyers, like decent block flying ground creatures. Blade Banish doesn't deal with them too often. Charge doesn't seem like a great charge deck either, since most of our creatures tend to have low power, so I can maybe cut the charge away. And if that's the case, like, how are we going to win? We're mostly going to try to drop the Frontline Feldar, tap a bunch of their stuff down, and get in for a bunch of damage. Or we could just play the Keensight Mentors, grow all of our Vigilance creatures, and make them large enough so it becomes really difficult for the opponent to block. So that's kind of a win condition. In that case, I guess I don't mind the Sun and Spinnerets. We have a bunch of Vigilance creatures already. Like, we're not going to end up putting counters onto them unless we get really lucky. So I guess I don't mind some creatures without Vigilance. So maybe like Sabretooth can be like a filler 2-drop we can play. Although not amazing. I guess like I don't mind a Bristling Boar then on 4. The Heliglider can maybe come in since it can also fly over. And it's another nice non-human creature to give a counter with. And then final card. I still don't think it's charge. It's just a little bit too clunky. Spending 3 mana, not developing anything. And most of our creatures do have low power. I don't think it's another Moscow Goriak, even though it's another Vigilance creature. We should have enough. So if that's the case, maybe we could make room for, like, I don't know, a 4-drop like Day Squad Marshal or Checkpoint Officer. I don't think we're mutating to get an attack in. Like, I guess it's fine to like maybe enhance like a Heliglider. But it's not going to pump our creatures too highly, I don't think. I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe we just throw in the Checkpoint Officer as a decent 2-drop in this deck. But again, it is quite expensive to use. Unless we can maybe get to the late game, I guess, and start tapping their stuff down. For 2 mana, I don't know. Maybe it's just a Huntmaster Liger after all. I don't think so. Maybe we just do play the Day Squad Marshal as more humans, more beef. Just +1, just having those 1/1 chump blocker out. It plays well with the Pataga Tiger. It gives us more humans for the Exuberant Wolf Bear. I could be overvaluing it too highly, I think. Yeah, I don't really want to play this like 6 mana 3/6. It can cycle, but who cares? Coordinate Charge might not be bad, but again, we're not. I mean, I guess we're kind of going wide in all in. So maybe the Coordinate Charge isn't a bad idea to have. The Sunspin Rats can kind of give our giant, like, high toughness creatures reach to maybe block an annoying flyer that's getting in there. So I don't mind it. It's just a 1 mana trick too, which people don't often play around. We kind of have to think of our deck. Are we being aggressive? Yes, we are definitely an aggressive deck. So we're not here to play defense, so I don't think the Checkpoint Officer is great. And even with 2 mana, tapping a creature down and getting attacking is kind of clunky. Huntmaster Liger, again, it's not going to pump us too much. I think I'd rather have Coordinated Charge over Huntmaster Liger, since the extra power could matter. Charge, I mean, we have some decent 4 powered, but for the most part, most of the creatures in our hand are not going to have a lot of power. We're not ramping. We have a million Moscow Goriacs already. Could use the Helica Glider as a flying win condition. So I guess maybe it's... I guess we have to look at our creature count. I guess we have 19 creatures. So I guess it's fine maybe cutting the Day Squad Marshal and putting the Coordinated Charge in. And I think this is 16 lands since we have a couple of 4s, 5s, some mana sinks with the Keensight Mentor. And I guess we can try something like this. The Bristling Boar could also go, and we can play a Day Squad Marshal since it's good with the Coordinated Charge. However, we do need some non-human creatures to put those Vigilance counters onto and start growing. Exuberant Wolf Bear is a good one. Pataga Tigers, Helica Glider is a good one. Savai Sabertooth is okay. Yeah, I don't think I like Savai Sabertooth. Seems kind of bad. Even though we are aggressive, I think we're going to value higher toughness here. And if that's the case, maybe Checkpoint Officer can come in. I mean, we have a bunch of 2s already. Maybe we just maybe we just throw in the Day Squad Marshal. Like, yeah, maybe we just throw in this Day Squad Marshal and it can be fine having this on the battlefield. Like, with Coordinate Charge is pretty strong. I mean, I guess, maybe just Huntmaster Liger. Like, 4-mana 3/4 is still fine, and we can put a counter onto it, and this can be a decent, nice Vigilance attacker. So yeah, definitely no Giraffid. Don't need a 3rd Mosscoat since we have 2 of them already. Furlid is like, for ramping, that's fine. We're not mutating that much. Charge, we don't have too many high-powered creatures. This is too expensive. Day Squad Marshal is a human, which has some synergy with Exuberant Wolf Bear and Pataga Tiger, but I think we have enough humans with Humble Naturalist, Double Keensight Mentor, and Alert Heatbonder. It's pretty decent with Coordinated Charge, but I think we prefer to have a little bit more non-humans for this Keensight Mentor, and Huntmaster Liger can still like enhance like a Helica Glider, even main Serval or Almighty Brushwag. And then we could use an extra pump spell like this Huntmaster Liger with the Coordinated Charge, so I can see that being reasonable. Also, maybe like Majestic Oracorn can trigger it or mutate onto it to enhance it, I don't know. Savai Sabertooth seems kind of bad. So we'll try this out. Seems kind of fun. And looking at our mana, why is this glitch happening? Guess it's a bit of lag spikes. Okay, slightly favoring white, but I still think we keep it even split. Or do we? Like, we have some green at 3, some green at 4. Yeah, we keep it even split since we're going 16 lands.
Like, I can maybe go 9-7, but maybe that's a little bit too crazy here. Wait, I forgot Lead to Stampede. Yeah, Lead to Stampede seems pretty solid in this deck where I'm just trying to grab a bunch of creatures. And again, we were running 18 creatures, so it actually seems pretty good in this deck. So any last second suggestions? Charge might help me kill something, like, but maybe we can just, again, the game plan is just to maybe get the Feldor down, tap their stuff, go very wide, all in, and essentially just get in for a huge attack. I'm also not ramping, so maybe Humble Naturalist isn't great. It is fine with the Exuberant Wolf Bear, though. Overall, it's a fine 2-drop. I think it's better than Sabertooth, at least. At the very least, I think. I guess Checkpoint Officer would maybe be a little bit better. Yeah, Checkpoint Officer might be better. I'm not looking to ramp here in this game. So maybe just having a tapper can be fine. How about Spontaneous Flight? None of our creatures can really... We do have 2 flyers, but none of them really hit hard. I could maybe cut the Sun and Spinnerets for it. This is a fine way to, like, block a flyer at the very least, but maybe it's better to just pump in ambush and kill them, but this is 3 mana for what it's worth, so maybe it's not that great. While 1 mana is a little bit more cheaper to use. Okay, we'll try this out. We'll see how it goes. I'm spending too much time thinking this. This draft just took 30 minutes. Would have loved a second solid footing in this type of deck as well. Not bad, we'll keep. And once we can play those Keensight Mentors, we can start enhancing our Vigilance creatures. Although we have to be careful that the opponent doesn't run a ton of removal, otherwise our creatures are going to have trouble getting in there. Ooh, lead the Stampede? I think we'll leave the main Serval, since it's a pretty decent attacker. And we're not really looking to tap anything down yet. And I think I'll leave with a Moscow Goriak next turn. Okay, this is a nice blocker for the 3-1. Could also play lead the Stampede. But we'll play that later. I think we'll get in for 1. And then Moscow Goriak also attacks well into this Sabertooth. We could also mutate next turn, but I think it might be reasonable just to cast this on 5, perhaps. Okay, opponent's also playing the Vigilance deck. I could trade here for the 3-1. But I think we just cast lead the Stampede here. Ooh, that's nice. And then there's no good attacks, we'll just say go. Could just play out my Vigilance creatures first, and then before casting the main Serval, the Frontline Feldars, in case he has removal. Since I do want to keep this alive, so we'll just play this out, say go. Opponent could just again be playing his own Vigilance deck, but it looks like he's playing blue, so maybe like a blue-white Flyers type of thing. Frontline Felder is pretty nice since we can also attack, and then at the end of the opponent's turn we can also tap. Frostlinks is fine. We still have good blockers on the ground, so we don't have to worry about anything. Going to take 1 in the air. And then we can just set up the main Servals for next turn. Since I do want to get in for 4, I think we're just going to play out the Servals. I guess we'll just play everything out.
Next turn we can just tap everything down and get in a huge attack. That should be pretty fun. That's fine. So we just want to tap down the high toughness stuff, I think. And maybe the 3-1 since that's pretty annoying. Ooh, that's pretty good. But I think we just cast it here. So if we're looking to attack, I guess we tap down the 1-4. And then I think we want to tap down the 2-2 flyer, maybe. And leave the checkpoint officer back. The 2-2 can definitely hold off one of my 1-4s. But I think it's fine getting an attack here. And then I guess we can tap the servals since we don't care about them. Tap down another serval. Tap the 2-2 down since this seems pretty nice. Since we can 2-for-1 the opponent if he decides to double block, and that's pretty good. So we can get in there for 3. Guess I'd rather kill the Frostlings here, okay? Since I don't mind trading double Sabertooth. Then we can mutate the Huntmaster Liger next turn and then go wide. And that can be pretty strong. So this is still a passive ability, so he does need to kill this. Ooh, solid footing, that's pretty good. I think we'll just mutate the Huntmaster Liger onto the main serval. And I guess we're fine attacking with all, even the checkpoint officer. And then we can tap down, I guess, the 1-4 since it's a pretty annoying blocker, and then the 1-3. And then if he tries to, I guess, double block my Huntmaster, I guess I can still tap the Huntmaster Liger here, or not. We'll see what the opponent tries. I guess we'll tap the Moscow Goriak since so he won't be able to double block my Huntmaster Liger, and we can get in this huge attack. Even though I do want my solid footing up, I think this is okay. You could have something here like, I don't know, Divine Arrow. But this is still a huge attack that I'm getting in. Yep. Opponent's at 3 life, so if another Vigilance creature goes unblocked, I can solid footing and kill him next turn. I can also just tap 2 to tap this main serval, and I should be fine. Okay. Guess we can just attack with all, and then whichever one he goes unblocked, we'll just use solid footing, so I think we got this. Alright, let's play it. Hilarious. Yeah, you don't really want to draft allied colors like this. I typically tend to avoid it. But, yeah, the Feldar is really good, so... And I was going to splash it either way, but, again, passing the Keensight Mentor with the Frontline Feldar first pick was definitely something I wasn't going to give up on, so let's keep trying this. Yeah, and it seems pretty good. I do like the Checkpoint Officer in this deck. Yeah, I think we're fine not having too many humans, since we do have a couple of them already. We're again not looking to ramp, so I don't think Humble Naturals is going to do much. Yeah, seems fine. Seems pretty good. Don't think I need a third Moscow Goriak. It's just not that amazing. So yeah, in sets like this, Ikoria, where there's a lot of diversity, think we keep. We don't have white, but we do have a Moscow Koryak on 3, and I don't really want to go down to 6 on the plate, so we'll keep. Yeah, so in sets like this, you can run away with like dumb shenanigans like this, but in sets like Core Set 2021, it's hyper aggressive and it's hard to pull off. Could be a cycling deck, yep. So you could have like a Xenoflare here, and we can just lose. Yep, red-white cycling, the bane of this set. Can never go wrong drafting it. Hopefully we pick up whites or a 4th land soon. But this can block pretty nicely. I guess I'll stay back just to play defense. I could cycle away the coordinate charge, never mind. Maybe if I took a planes, I could have played out the main serval. So I should have considered that, but we'll definitely cycle this end of turn. Yeah, I should have main phase, but I guess we didn't get one anyways. So I guess we're fine just playing out the Exuberant Wolf Bear here. Don't think we want to attack because he can just double block. I'd rather just trade here. This is going to have double strike, but at least a 2-4 trades for it. The 4-4 also trades for it. So we're in decent shape. Unless he removes both our creatures. Ooh, nice. Yeah, that's scary. Alright. Yeah, we're going to lose this. That's a pretty nice one to pick up. Especially in a cycling deck. Alright, I don't think we're going to win this. Unless maybe we can put a solid footing and ambush the King Caesar. Does mutating do anything? I guess I can play the Frontland Feldar and tap this before main phase. I could also just ambush it, I guess, with the solid footing, which also isn't a bad idea. I don't think getting for 2 matters, and there's a chance you could just kill my Moscow Goryak, and that can be an issue. I mean, I guess I'm fine taking another 6 maybe, and we still have the Frontland Feldar to do this trick. I don't know. I could still tap it. He might not have another mutate creature. He probably doesn't have another mutate creature. I think we're fine attacking for 2, and then main phase we can, on pre-combat step, we can tap down the King Caesar, and we can get away with it. Hopefully he doesn't have another mutate like a Vulpikeets or anything. But we're definitely going to have to tap this down, otherwise this is going to just run away with the game. So definitely not blocking. It's a sign that he has a Divine Arrow. But I guess we can just keep tapping this King Caesar down and start attacking the opponent now. I can ambush the Marmoset as well. I could just attack here. Guess I don't mind attacking with the 3/3. Since this has double strike is going to be an issue. I can still tap 2 of them down. I can tap both of these. I could ambush with the solid footing next, probably, maybe. Huh, this is hard. Huntmaster Liger, what's that going to do? Nothing. We can just cast it. Oracorn is just going to be too slow here. Guess we could try to ambush King Caesar, I don't know. Or we can just play the main serval and maybe that's better. Guess we can tap on his turn so we can play it conservatively, I think. Maybe this wasn't correct. Maybe I was supposed to ambush with a solid footing this turn. And then maybe I can force him to cycle here. Or I can just take the hits from this 2/3. I guess I take the hits because I do need to set board, so we'll take it here. Okay, he doesn't cycle. Could have a swallow hole, hopefully not. Because if he gets rid of this, then my win condition is... and my defense condition is basically gone. That's a good one. So the opponent's definitely playing a lot of scary threats. Guess I don't mind swallow holing the King Caesar. I guess I don't mind just attacking, tapping the Sanctuary Smasher and then using swallow hole on it. In that case, maybe I can enhance my main serval. Since solid footing isn't going to work on this, since it's at 6 power, and everything else I have is at 4 power. Yeah, maybe we just try something like this. I guess I can swallow whole now. Man, I wish I had a green creature here. Yeah, I think we do it. We just swallow whole here, and then damn, this is bad. Guess we can play defense. Guess I can. That's 6, 7. I think I'm dead. Yeah, I think I'm dead since he's gonna hit for 6. Yeah, I can't really prevent this double striker. 6, 7, 8. I guess he cycles once and I'm dead. So maybe that wasn't the correct play. I don't know. Just missing the land drops really sucks. So I think the opponent has this. Yeah. Having the extra white mana definitely helped. So I could consider, due to the fact that I could be primarily white, I could go 9/7 in this deck, since I definitely had a lot of white creatures, but the green just completely made most of my deck unplayable. So we'll definitely maybe swap out a forest for a plains here, and we'll try something like this. Alright, well, we're on the draw. I guess if we get a human out, this can be pretty strong. Otherwise, this can be kind of weird and clunky. We are on the draw, though. Having these 5 drops isn't bad. We'll mulligan. Okay, seems a little bit better. I think we'll keep this. I do like Lead to Stampede. Blade Banish can maybe be a fine removal spell. Maybe I can ditch a land either way. Since we're on the draw, maybe we can hit a land and not feel bad about being greedy here. Okay, and we did hit a land drop, so getting rewarded here. I like how the Brushwhack can become a 4/4 later. Ooh, that's a bomb. Hopefully he doesn't get hexproof. He has Menace, but we'll kill that next turn. I think we'll just lead with a Lead to Stampede. Ooh, yeah, I'll take all of them. As many creatures as I can. And hopefully he doesn't get hexproof, since I want to swallow whole on it next turn. Or Vigilance. Vigilance would be pretty bad. Anything but that. Okay, I guess he has Vigilance now. So I guess we can't swallow a hole on it, so I guess Blade Bash sucks. Day Squad Marshal, opponent's going wide. Now what? We can give this Vigilance, we can play the Alert Heat Bonder, which is a good blocker. Could play out the Bristling Boar. Bristling Boar can maybe trade off for the 3-3, but it's not something I want to do. Heat Bonder can give me a bit of life, hold off the 3-3. Maybe we can double block it, I don't know. We'll play a Bristling Boar. Just to use up our mana efficiently. So once this gets hexproof, it's game over. I actually want this to be 4 powered at least. But this is definitely a card that you need to sideboard against in this set with Wilt and like Artifact Destruction. Okay, has flying. That's even worse. I guess I don't mind blocking the 1-1, taking 7. Although, maybe trading off is better. I mean, I could put the Alert Heat Bonder onto this next turn, but it's still going to take a long time. Huh, this is interesting. Taking 7 is a lot, though. Guess we block. As long as this doesn't get hexproof, I think we should be fine. 5, okay. Maybe I can hold off the flyer here, but he still has menace. So that's also quite annoying. I guess I could gain some life here. Their Servo into Alert Heat Bonder seems pretty solid. I could also just play the Keensight Mentor, maybe enhance my Vigilance creatures next turn. Heat Bonder can gain me a little bit of life to maybe stabilize. There's a chance he could have removal, and killing Keensight Mentor is even worse, so I think we maybe play out the Heat Bonder here. Gain some life in the meantime. Gain 2 and then take 1 per turn in the air. Hopefully this gets a +1/+1 counter so I can Blade Banish it eventually. But it's definitely going to get out of hand. Okay. We do have some decent blocks still against this. Like, I can still block here. So it's not the end of the world. Although this could tap, and you can tap 2 humans, but I still have a nice 1/4 ground blocker. Okay, Death Touch. Please enhance this. Give it a counter. Dub it, please, or something. Okay, I guess I can block with the 1/4. Don't think I'm going to do any risky blocks here. If he wants to use a pump trick, go ahead. Now I can play out... Ooh, the Frontline Feldar isn't bad. Now I can tap down the 3/3, maybe get an attack in. Or I could play the Patagate Tiger and get an attack in, but I don't think I want to do that. Ooh, I guess I can play the Frontline Feldar, and then next turn I can tap the Crystalline Giants and then exile it. So I think that's a play. Actually, I can main phase it. Actually, I can do it on its upkeep, maybe. So before combat, before it gets hexproof, I can. I guess if it gets hexproof, anyways, I won't be able to target it with the Swallow Hole. So that's going to be a bit of an issue. Sure. And on my pre-combat, I can use the main Serval to tap down maybe the Crystalline Giant and take a couple points of damage.
Or I can tap down a human if it's going to do too much damage to me. And hopefully this doesn't get hexproof, because I plan on tapping this next turn and exiling it, and it did get hexproof. Okay. All right, so it's currently just going to deal 3 damage, but we can offset the life loss with the vigilance creature. So we're definitely not that bad. We're not in bad shape, so to speak. But this is going to be quite annoying. Guess maybe it's time to play the Keensight Mentor out and start upgrading all of our creatures. I guess I can exile the flower, which isn't bad, so I guess I can try putting a counter here. Guess I don't mind tapping the Alert Heat Bonder maybe, and then exiling the flyer to prevent it from doing a million damage to me. Or I can just tap the Almighty Brushwag, maybe that's better, since this is just going to be really annoying here. Then we can use a Swallow Hole, I guess, and then exile this Patagate Tiger. Guess we just tap the Alert Heat Bonder here. Or we could just tap the Keensight Mentor. Maybe I should have done that. I don't know. Yeah, this wasn't correct. I guess the 1/4 can hold off the 3/4, and then I guess I still have decent blockers here, so. But I'm gaining 4 life per turn, so I am stabilizing, which is quite nice. Okay. Well, that's also pretty annoying here. I guess I can hold off. I can take 5. It also has reach now. If this didn't gain hexproof, I think we would have been in better shape. But I think we need to start blocking here. Hopefully he doesn't have like a Divine Arrow. I could take 4 here. I mean, it'll be 7, so that's quite a lot. So hopefully no Divine Arrow, since I do want to activate my Keensight Mentor. I don't know, this game was weird. Oh man, that's bad. Oh, I guess this is the only creature that's gonna die, so it's not the end of the world. So I guess we're in decent shape, so to speak. I guess I can play the Tiger, maybe enhance the Keensight Mentor, gain attack, or I can just keep pumping my Vigilance creature, maybe that's better. I could offer to trade here. Maybe that's fine on a Crystalline Giant. Sure, why not? I think it's worth trading for this. I could tap it and deal 7. But maybe we just keep it back as a blocker. The ambush, we'll see. He's eventually going to get first strike with this, so maybe the game plan is just to go wide and go for an all-out attack, tap all of his stuff, and get his life total low enough. So hopefully this doesn't get first strike. If it does, then that's going to be a bit of a problem. And it gained first strike. Okay, so he can essentially just kill anything here and deal 3 to me per turn, but at least I have Vigilance guys upsetting the life loss from this Crystalline Giant. Guess I don't mind blocking with the Heat Bonder maybe, and
Or block with the Moss Coat. He could have another trick here. Like, this is a pretty strange attack. So I think we just block like this and then activate the Keensight Mentor. Like, I could definitely block here and activate the Keensight Mentor, but it's a little bit too awkward doing this. This attack is too strange, so... So we need to go for an all-out attack where we can tap all of his creatures down and smash in for 13. So I guess I'm going to have to start activating this Keensight Mentor every turn, so I think we need to keep up 2 mana at the very least at all times. And this is going to kill anything for free, so I don't think we can go for an attack. We just need to enhance all of our Vigilance creature as much as possible. And hopefully just go for an all-out attack. He blocks our biggest creature. We can kill him at 13. Guess that's fine. If he has a Swallow Hole, that's going to be pretty bad. Sure, I guess that's what he was holding on to the whole time. So he's probably planning to go for an all-out attack. We can block here, and then I guess we can also just Blade Banish this next turn. Guess I'll be taking 1 damage per turn now with the Crystalline Giant. It's not attacking, okay. Ooh, main Serval, okay. Guess we can cast the main Serval here and start pumping it up too. And then we can offset the entire life loss from the Crystalline Giant. So we'll just try that. I could tap in response, but I do have some tappers anyways next turn, so... Pre-combat, I could tap down this 5/3. Maybe that's better since I do want to, Actually, he doesn't have a good attack, so I think we let this happen. Take 4, and then we'll start activating the Keensight Mentor. You also have lifelink, I guess, so that's also pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to beat this. I could Blade Banish this end of turn. So now what? I guess I can go for an all-out attack. He's going to go to 21. He's obviously going to block the Frontland Feldar. How much is he taking? 6, 7, 8, 9. No, it's 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. I think it's lethal, if I'm not mistaken. Huh. Think we just have to go for it here. be wrong. We'll try it next turn, maybe. So let's say I attack here. I tap both these creatures down. He's going to block here. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It would be exactly 21. Yeah, let's just pass. I think we can try next turn. Just didn't have enough time for this. He's gonna be at 25 life next turn. I guess 26. So I need to think quickly here. So this has every single counter now. So I do need to kind of swarm him as much as possible, so I need to do some maths. Obviously, he doesn't really want to tap his creatures. Coordinated charge. Maybe this is it. Maybe I just send everyone here. And then coordinated charge. I guess I can attack with everyone. All the Vigilance creatures, tap everything down. And then use coordinated charge to maybe blow them out. I'm not going to change the base toughness of the Alert Heat Bonder. Yeah, I think we go for it. It's been way too long here. Actually, how much mana do I have? I have 7. So I guess I have, I can pay 5 to use a charge and then Keen Sight Mentor to pump the creatures up. I guess that makes sense. So yeah, I think we got this. Okay, so if I attack, what happens? I can block this, he's going to go to 26. He's going to kill this. He's going to take 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so 3. So this is 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that's enough. I think we just stay back here, and then we can Blade Banish this end of turn. Yeah, we'll stay back still. I think it's still a bit sketchy here. Maybe I missed my window. I have no idea. This should not be taking this long. I'm gonna lose my frontland Feldar if I attack with it though, which is not great. Guess he can only tap one creature down now. There's another Goriak, so let's move to combat and see what he does here. That's fine. Actually, I could tap this in response. Yeah, I should tap that in response. Okay, so if I go for an all-out attack, what happens? How much damage is this? He's gonna take 8, 9, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. But then I'm going to lose everything next turn. Maybe we can try to tap his tapper down next turn. The one when he tries to tap our creature down, we can try that, and then hopefully we can tap in response next time and not screw this one up. But we're still okay here. We're gaining 1 extra life per turn. Well, that sucks. All right, I guess it's game over now. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I guess we can't tap any of his stuff down anymore. So maybe I just missed a window and I screwed this matchup completely. Yeah, this is not looking great. Maybe it could have came down to decking. I don't know. I messed this one up. This game should have been beatable. I should have maybe went for an all-out attack that turn where I had him at exactly 21. But that was pretty complicated, especially with that Crystalline Giant gaining hexproof. So, yeah, not a very good match. I think I was overthinking. I should have just went for that timing where he was at 21 exactly and went for the attack. Okay, Brushwag. We're on the draw. Kind of sketchy. We could cycle away the Coordinated Charge on 2. I think we'll try this. Hopefully we don't face against the turn 3 Crystalline Giant again. They gained hexproof the turn we could have tapped it down, but Flourishing Fox also not something I want to see. Guess he's gonna hit in for 2. Alright then. This game could be over quickly. And then we'll cycle away the Coordinate Charge end of turn, since I need to find some action at 3. Or find a way to deal with this Flourishing Fox before it gets out of hand. Okay, that's pretty annoying. But I think long term the Flourishing Fox is the real threat. Guess he missed out on the damage, so that's fine. Guess the Serval is a good blocker. You can hold off the Savai Thundermane. We'll say go. Hopefully it doesn't kill my Frontland Feldar in 4, because I do need that to kind of, I guess, tap down the Flourishing Fox before it becomes an issue. Guess I could mutate and get an attack in. Could just play double 2-drop. The Feldar could be pretty fine though. Just playing it out right now, it seems. Maybe we can just hold off this Flourishing Fox for some time and then use the 1-4 as a blocker on the 3-2. Eventually he can have 6 mana up, cycle 2 1-mana cyclers and shoot down my main Serval, so that's not great. Guess he's gonna hit me for 5. Next turn I can tap it down, hopefully, and stabilize. Couldn't mutate onto this and get an attack in. Next turn I can just tap down the Flourishing Fox. Like, gaining 4 life isn't bad, and we can also get an attack in. Although I prefer to have more Vigilance creatures out. So I could attack with the Frontland Feldar here, and next turn just tap. I guess the Majestic Orcorn isn't bad. Could use some life gain here. Then we can attack in for 7, I guess, and tap down the Flourishing Fox. Seems okay. And if he wants to double block the Majestic Orcorn, that's fine. That's going to result in a trade. A 2-for-1, and I can get in for 3. Think this is fine. Then, pre-combat, we can tap down the Flourishing Fox. Guess I'd rather tap down the Frontland Feldar. Hopefully he doesn't have a Swallow Hole. And then now this, even if he tries to attack with a 3-2, I don't mind pinging, trading it. I think I go for it here. He could have a Divine Arrow. Actually, I'll take it. Seems like a Divine Arrow could be incoming here. He could have a Zenithflare, maybe. Keensight Mentor, not bad. Guess we can play that out. Or the main server looks maybe more tempting since I can activate, I can tap twice to prevent damage. I can also play out the Checkpoint Officer here, which is going to get killed by the Savai Thundermane, but maybe that's fine. Sure. Since if he activates the Savai Thundermane, he could also shoot down, hit one of my creatures, and then get a nice trade. So I'm fine if he wants to kill my Checkpoint Officer here. It's not the end of the world. It's a free throwaway, but it does protect my creature in case he has another cycler. Seems like he doesn't have Swallow Hole, so I can still cycle the cycle in I guess I can tap down the 6/6 in response. So it doesn't seem bad. So we might steal this game if we're lucky. Even main phase this over here, so I could attack with a Majestic Orcorn, and that's not a bad idea. Since if he does try to double block, so to speak, I can still kill the Snare Tactician, which is pretty annoying. I'm definitely not going to attack with the Frontland Felder. I guess I could attack and I guess I can attack with everything and tap everything down. But he's going to use that instead. Okay. Do I tap in response? So I have 3 mana to use. I guess it's not bad. Just tapping something response. Maybe forcing him to chump with the 3/2. I don't know. And then we can get an attack, which is fine. And I can still activate 2 of my Vigilance creatures. And we can pass. Whatever he taps down, we can just tap in response and lock the opponent down, so this seems pretty good. I guess he needs to find Xenoflare or it's game over. So yeah, we have another Cycler that he wants to use to kill my, guess we have some good blocks here. I could just tap this, like, why not? I could tap this down. Yeah, why not? We'll tap this by Thundermane. It's annoying enough that I want to block it, and then I can hold off the 2/3. I really don't care if he gets first strike, so I do have a decent attack next turn with everyone, so it should be good here. So he's out of mana, so I could swallow whole here. So let's see. If I play out the Pataga Tiger and pump the Keensight Mentor, that can be pretty decent. I do want to get 2 blockers out of the way. So let's see. Let's move to combat first and see if the opponent has a 1-mana Cycler. If not, then it's game over, and I guess it is. So I guess we can just attack with all 3 of these. Activate the abilities. And I guess it's game over. Alright, I guess it's game over. Wow. Managed to be a cycling deck. Not bad. Alright, just takes a little bit of skill and thinking, obviously. But yeah, the opponent had a 10-10 Flourishing Fox at the end of the day, and we still got there, so don't underestimate the value of allied colors. Obviously, it's not something you want to do in Ikoria, but if you get the payoffs and follow up with the uncommons, then you should definitely dive into it. Alright, main servo, Bristling Boar, Front and Feldar seems fine.
Start out with our 4-drop bomb, so to speak. And hopefully we don't need another long, complex game. Yeah, the main servos are definitely a thing in this set. Okay, no 3-drop. That's unfortunate, but we can leave with a Bristling Boar next turn. I guess I could play the Exuberant Wolf Bear since, like, 3 toughness is a little bit bad against the opponent. But I guess this plays in the Rumbling Rock Slide as well, which I don't want. I guess we have a Sun Spinnerets, but I think I still play the Exuberant Wolf Bear here. I don't really want to answer anything with Fire Prophecy, which they mostly have in their hand. So next turn I could play the Bristling Boar, keep up Sun Spinnerets to play around it, so the Exuberant Wolf Bear looks good. There's also Essence Scatter, but it'll kill anything anyway, so I think I'm fine with that. And then we can lead with maybe the Bristling Boar next turn, and if he tries a Fire Prophecy, we will sudden Spinnerets. Moves attacks. Alright, let's see him use it. And he has it, obviously. I mean, Blue-Red Spell always has it, so I won't be surprised. Gotta play around it, so I guess he still loots, but yep. Right, you could have the shark, but we're gonna play, but we can trade into it. So I think we just play Lead the Stampede here. Try to the shark would be pretty bad here, and then we can grab all of our creatures, which is really nice. So I'm at 3. I think it's fine just attacking the Bristling Boar because he could ambush us with a shark, and that can be quite bad. So we'll see what the opponent tries here. If another Fire Prophecy is gonna go off, I guess we play the main serval. Since Blue-Red tends to be very controlling. Guess we discard a bunch of lands in the bottom, so that's fine. Drawing 3 is pretty insane, so pretty happy about this. Alright, let's play the main servo, get it countered, and hopefully next turn we can resolve this Keensight Mentor. Alright, opponent doesn't care. Let's see what he does. Maybe just passes the turn. I mean, obviously he's keeping up Essence Scatter. You don't hold up all this mana for no reason. So I'm fine. I'm fine if we want to just keep baiting here with our. If he wants to keep baiting with his counter spells and whatnot. Lava Serpent. Okay, that's fine. So it's a good time to tap out. No blocks. And then the Keensight Mentor or Felidar can be really nice. Let's just play everything out, I think. And then we can start enhancing our army. We're fine taking another 5. We should be okay here. Maybe force him to stay back a bit. But now the Keensight Mentor can start enhancing the army. We can... we do have a frontline Felidar that can maybe help hold off a bit. This 2/4 blocks this 3/2 pretty nicely. I'm fine if he wants to stay back, that's pretty good. And I'm fine if he wants to counter our Huntmaster Liger. I think we're fine taking 5 still here. Maybe we can get an attack in next turn and hopefully close out the game.
Alright, I guess I can try playing out the Frontline Feldar first. Or I can bait with the Huntmaster. I think we bait with the Huntmaster. Although the Frontline Feldar isn't going to do much if it gets countered anyways. So let's play this out. Okay, and I guess we're fine getting an attack in. And then we can still tap one of our creatures on his turn, so... I guess that's exactly 7, so I don't need to activate the Mentor. We'll just block off the 3-2. And see what he tries here. Because I do need to keep defense against his 5-5 and his 3-2 if it's gonna be annoying. And this is exactly 7, so I don't need to be trigger happy and pump this Keen Sight Mentor. Pouncing Shore Shark, okay. Guess he's gonna look to bounce. I guess we still have 2 mana to essentially hold off whatever he wants to play next. Sure. So we can still tap down the I guess I could have activated this and that was 3 damage, so I guess I missed lethal, but I still have the mana to hold off these 2 creatures, so we should be in fine shape regardless. That's fine. Guess that's still enough maybe next turn. He can tap twice. But we also have another main serval that can tap it down. So I guess in response, we tap this. We have to tap down the Archipelagor because that's going to kill us. And we'll let this resolve. Sure. And now he can bounce something. Guess he can only bounce once. I'm fine taking 5 here then. Next turn it's lethal anyway, so we'll take 5. Yeah, no blocks. I'm fine taking 5. I'm not gonna die from 5. He could have Raking Claws. Ooh, Raking Claws would be bad, but yeah, definitely not blocking here. Alright, it's good games. Opponent definitely made this game very tense, so yeah, green-white Vigilance. There you go. I'd be surprised if this gets to 7 wins, but if this gets to 5 wins, I'm still going to be okay. Alright, 3 wins. Let's keep playing. Yeah, chump blocking wasn't correct, because even if he had Raking Claws, I don't know how we'd come back from that one. I guess I could just replay the Frontline Feldar. Doesn't seem amazing, but we do have a curve. We're on the play. I think I'll try it. Hopefully we can get a creature of Vigilance so the solid footing can enhance it into a large creature. Mothra's Cocoon, okay, so he's looking to mutate from the looks of it. So do I leave with a Moscow Goriak, maybe? Since it's a pretty good ground blocker. Ooh, let's see, I guess I do, since it's pretty nice if I can play like the Frontland Feldar afterwards, or not. Gorak does block pretty nice if he decides to mutate onto this, so I can prevent some damage. So it's not that bad. Ozolith, okay, so he's gonna do the 1/1 counter stuff. I guess I don't mind playing out the board here. Let's move to attacks. I'm not gonna play out the Frontland Feldar too early, I don't think, since there's nothing large that I want to deal with. This bristling board's solid. It can beat pretty hard. He's gonna loot to end of turn. So this is gonna be pretty annoying, especially the +1/+1 counter stuff. So it's gonna be 6. This is gonna be a bit of an issue. Guess I can play out the Frontland Feldar and start tapping stuff next turn. So we can kind of ignore this creature, so to speak, by just tapping his stuff down and getting some attacks in. Guess I don't mind swinging both. He could have like a mutate creature. But I do need to pressure him, so I think we attack here. And I guess I don't mind tapping the Goriak. Move to combat. Guess he's chumping, okay. Chump isn't bad. I can get in there for 5 if I want to. But nah, we'll save the solid footing. He could have something here. Ooh, that's bad. Yeah, that's not gonna be good. Guess I can try the solid footing, or I can just develop the Helica Glider. Yeah, this is not good. Killing our Frontland Feldar is not what I wanted, so... And this can gain Death Touch now, so... There's no first strike. Yeah, this is gonna be rough. Guess we can play out the Helica Glider to put out some evasion, even though this has reach. So I do need to find a way to deal with this 5/6 if I can. So hopefully, if he attacks, I can use a Swallow Hole on this to kill it. Or I can just go completely wide, all out, and then kill him. So I guess we'll just play out the Moscow Goriak here. Say go. The opponent doesn't really have any ways to garner value, so in the meantime, it's fine developing my board. I do have 6 power incoming. I guess 1, 2, 7, 8, 9 power incoming, so Archipelago is annoying. So he's going to tap something down, but we can always attack back. I guess I don't mind taking 10, attacking back, and then chumping next turn. Because I do need to race him. Guess I'm fine taking 13. But he's just going to stay back and play defense. Okay. So, do I mutate here? I guess I don't mind mutating onto a Moscow Goriak. So if he decides to go for an attack, we can still solid footing and get in there for a ton, so we'll just say go. And this also gains me life, so in case something happens here, he goes all in with the mutate, we can still kind of cheese him. So if we attack with all, he's going to block here. We're going to have 5, 9, 10, 11 damage. Plus a coordinate charge. That's kind of close. But I still think we develop the Patagia Tiger here. And put up some extra flyers just in case. And then I think we say go here. Next turn maybe we can go for an all-out attack. If he has a Pouncing Shore Shark, this is going to be problematic. Ooh, Space Godzilla. That's even worse. Okay. I'm actually hoping that he attacks me for 13 here. He could run out of ammo here, so... Guess I'm fine taking 8.
So now what? Let's say I go for an all-out attack. He blocks here. Again for 9, 10, 11. Still 11 damage. I just need one more white mana for a solid footing and uncoordinated charge, and I should be fine. So I think this turn we just play out another Tiger, maybe take another 8, and we should be fine. Say go. Opponent passes. Okay, I guess I can still set up some more stuff, so we'll just keep playing out our stuff. Next turn maybe we can set up a coordinated charge attack, and we should be fine here. Now what? So if I attack with all, he's gonna block here, block here. We're gonna get in for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exactly 12. Maybe it's just a little bit too early. Let's just play on another Brushwhack perhaps, and we'll say go. Because he could be holding on to something. Yeah, I guess we go out all out now. Let's attack. Alright, that's fine. And then before damage, we can use a solid footing on a main serval, I think. And then we can cast coordinated charge and pressure him. Alright. That's nice. Alright, nice 4 and 2. Hopefully get to 5, and this can be a reasonable video to upload onto my YouTube channel, since I never had the chance to draft white-green ever in this set until now. I guess we can just play a million servals. If we draw green creatures, it's going to be bad, but we do have some 2-drops and 3s. We'll try it. Especially on the draw, I think it's fine keeping this hand. We don't have any double green, so I think I'm fine just playing out my planes to hide some info for now. Thieving Otter, okay. That's going to be problematic. So what do I do here? I guess I can still hold it off with the 1/4. And maybe the Helicopter Glider getting first strike can be reasonable, but let's say he kills my main serval or locks it down, then I'm forced to like trade for it, which I don't want. So I think I just play another main serval for now, just shore up my defense and say go. And I can still double block the Thieving Otter or hold it off if he has a Capture Spear or something. Right, I guess I can still block it. And if he decides to attack, I can let connect and I can swallow hole it. Land is good, so now I don't want to play out the Huntmaster Liger. I guess I can. Or I can just develop the Helicopter Glider here. I could play out the... I don't actually want to mutate the Majestic Oricorn either. I don't think mutating accomplishes anything, but I could just play out the Huntmaster Liger as just a 3/4 and that's fine. But the Helicopter Glider can maybe swing in some damage and we can surprise him to Huntmaster Liger later. I don't know, we'll just play out the Helicopter Glider, I think. We'll give it flying so we can start chipping in some damage if we can. Since every little point of damage can matter. Okay, so he's going to mutate. I guess he's fine attacking. We're going to Swallow Hole and kill it. So he's going to draw 2 cards here, one from the Dreamtail, one from the Otter, but we're fine taking it. And he's kind of tapped out here, so
We should be able to exile this if we can, and that would be pretty nice. So I guess next turn we can mutate, get in a nice attack with the Huntmaster Liger, and then exile. That can actually be a pretty decent strategy. So what we can do now is we can play out land, mutate. Do I want to mutate on the Helica Glider? It does improve it though. But it's kind of an all-in strat. Maybe we want to spread the love by mutating onto the main serval. This is 4 mana to mutate though. But this can trigger again. Like, I don't mind attacking into the 4/4, making it into a 5/5. That can be quite solid, or I can just kind of go wide, attacking for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then exile. I don't know. Maybe it's just too... Maybe I want to be mana efficient here, but I think I prefer casting the Auricorn, maybe. So that's another problem. I could just exile. Actually, I want to get an attack. So why not? Let's get in a nice attack here. Let's not sit around too long. And then we can get a nice attack with all, and then use the Swallow Hole to finish off the 3/4. And then we can use the Swallow Hole here. Make sure that we tap the main serval instead of the 3/4, so we don't go all in with all of our creatures. Yeah, pretty nice 3-for-1 here, even though he drew some cards. We still kind of managed to equalize here by getting rid of most of his scary creatures. So now I can start developing the board, play out the Majestic Auricorn maybe, and then, I mean, I can lead off the main serval, then eventually mutate onto this, I guess, and get in a huge attack. This is going to hold off my creatures. I guess I can still mutate onto the 2/2, and then he doesn't have a good block. We could try that. He could have an Essence Scatter here. I guess he has 4 power. He could double block my Huntmaster Liger, which can be kind of stupid. So maybe I just go wide. Maybe I just cast the Majestic Auricorn. Maybe, yeah, maybe that's just better. Because this can't even attack into the 3/5 anyway, so casting this is better. Going wide using the coordinated charge is better, so we'll stay back and stay go. So I have 2 nice attackers, the Majestic Auricorn and the Huntmaster Liger next turn. If he tries something, I can use the Coordinate Charge and kind of smash through, I think. Charge is pretty annoying, okay. So he also has another Honey Mammoth to follow up this turn, so yeah, definitely have to deal with this by Catch a Giraffe if I can. Solid Footing isn't bad. I could attack with the main serval and see what he tries. Maybe offer a trade with the 6/6, I don't know. Or I can just play out my own main serval and ambush him if he decides to attack. I don't really want to trade though, so I'm maybe fine taking 6. And next turn maybe we can go for an attack and see what happens. Another Honey Mammoth, okay, so this is definitely not looking good for us. We were fine just taking 6 for now. Opponent passes, okay. Ooh, Tiger. Tiger can be pretty nice. So maybe we can set up a Tiger attack. Sure, why not? Next turn then we can like use the coordinated charge to cheese the opponent out. We'll see. But this Giraffe is definitely holding us off. I don't really want to take a million hits from these Honey Mammoths either. So I think I'm fine taking 6 for now. Next turn we can use the Coordinate Charge and hopefully we top deck another Plains so we can
use a solid footing as well in combination to get in there. Yeah, no attacks, no blocks. We're fine taking 6. Yeah, but these honey mammoths are definitely a nuisance, gaining him life, being good ground blockers against us. Even a trumping gnar, okay, without mutate. That's kind of interesting. Guess now he's gonna mutate onto this. Alright, I guess this is gonna be our first loss, unless I guess we pick up a frontline Feldar off the top. Maybe that can help us stabilize against the opponent by tapping his stuff down and getting in some nice attacks. Hopefully I take up... Plains would be a nice top deck, because like Coordinate Charger's Solid Footing would be a pretty nice attack against the opponent. We can kill like a bunch of his creatures and go all in. And he has 1 card left, so opponent's holding on to priority. We'll see. I guess any land would be pretty nice next turn, since both of these tricks are pretty powerful. I guess he could just lag out here and give me the free win. That would also be pretty fine with me, since since I do want to get at least 6 or 5 wins with this deck. Okay, I guess he must have lagged out or timed out. I'm totally fine with that. Opponent does have a pretty sweet Simic mutate deck. Alright, that's a pretty good one. So now we can play defense for a bit. And we can, I guess we can still take 6 from one of the Honey Mammoths. I guess I could still chump block. I guess I can't take all the hits next turn, so I think I'm forced to tap down a 6/6 on his turn and then take a 6 from the Honey Mammoth. Next turn we can go for like an all-out attack and see what happens. Or the opponent could just lag out here, and that's fine with me. Since this is definitely a winnable matchup for me, but it's also a winnable matchup for him, depending on what he has in mind. But yeah, this is definitely a really good top deck for me here. Okay, well, that's a free win. So, I might make a part 2 video on this since I don't have enough time. So stay tuned. I'm currently at currently at 5 and 2. Okay, let's make a part 2 video.